Welcome to our beginner series. These videos will give you all the information you need to start with your polymer clay journey. There's a lot of topics in the polymer clay world, and it can be overwhelming when you're starting your journey. You don't know what to buy, where to start, and what are the actual steps to achieve a polymer clay jewelry finished piece. So don't worry, we'll guide you through all of these steps in this series of videos. Today we're going to start with the actual clay, so what clays to choose and how to treat it before starting the project. There are lots of brands of polymer clay out there, but only a few are available everywhere in the world, and they are more famous, I'd say. Also, there is not such a thing like bad clay. Different types of clay suit different purposes. I mainly do jewelry and accessories, so for me it's important that the clay is strong after being baked. Just note that the strength of the clay depends on the brand, but also on how you bake it. So if you buy a strong clay but you don't bake it correctly, it will break. If you buy a weak clay and you bake it correctly, it will break anyway if you apply some pressure. The main brands of polymer clay that usually makers go to are Polymer, so Sculpey, which makes Polymer, and Soufflé. They are the two main brands. You will also see on the market something called Sculpey 3. This is something to avoid if you want a strong product, especially jewelry. It's a brittle clay. It's good for like kids project or just maybe as a beginner clay because it's cheaper. If you want to do some practice and you're not fussy about durability, that you can get Sculpey 3. Soufflé is good. Soufflé is a smoother clay. It contains some sort of fibers, so it gives this nice and very like silky, velvety feeling when it's baked. Where Sculpey Primo leaves more of like a plasticky look to the clay once it's baked. Now, a question that we always receive from non-clay maker is, oh, but this clay looks like plastic. It doesn't look like, like ceramic. Well, polymer clay is plastic, so it does look like plastic. It has a certain grade of flexibility depending on the brand. If you want to make it look like ceramic or like something else, you will need to use a different technique with polymer clay. So you might use a sealer or something that gives a shine. The polymer clay itself, it is flexible and it is plasticky. Another good brand is Fimo, again, it's used a lot by professionals. It's a little less available in Australia, so we usually get more Sculpey here. Another good one is Cernit. Then we've got Kato clay that is being discontinued because apparently Kato has been bought by a new company which is also working on a different brand of clay, so it will come back but with a different name. And Pardo. So these are the main clay on the market at the moment. Again, it's not one that is like better than others. They suit different needs. This is a piece of primer in white. So it is quite soft. My studio is quite hot. It's summer here, but this is mainly the consistency of the clay when you buy it. It could be harder, it could be a little crumbler. Now, once that you open your package of clay, if it's pliable, so if you can, roll it in your pasta machine or with your roller and it works, it doesn't need any kneading or any conditioning. There are a lot of myths around conditioning clay. It's only necessary if your clay is, say, too hard or crumbling, so you can't really roll it. Otherwise, no need to condition. There is no correlation between conditioning your clay and the strength of your clay. Assuming that you're making some jewelry, you will need to flatten it. You can use either a rolling pin. I usually recommend a metallic or an acrylic rolling pin, not the wooden one from your kitchen. and possibly some depth guides. Depth guides are sticks, acrylic sticks usually, or 3D printed sticks that you put on your working surface, and when you roll your clay, they make sure that you roll it at the same thickness, so it's nice and even. Otherwise, if you don't use them, your slab, your clay might get bumpy. Otherwise, if you have an older pasta machine, or if you're willing to buy one, pasta machines are usually used for polymer clay. They help you conditioning the clay if it's needed, and they help you flattening it, creating a slab of the same thickness. When I started, I just used an old pasta machine that I found on Marketplace, and it was absolutely fine. So you can find them for really $20. Just make sure that you clean it before using it. Otherwise, you can buy a new one. A good pasta machine is Mercado. It's an Italian brand, Atlas. It's called Atlas Mercado. Mercado is the brand. And it's very exciting because from what I heard, the new machines that they are making can be opened easily for cleaning. There are other brands of pasta machines that you can purchase, and to be honest, as a beginner, they're absolutely fine. The difference is that Atlas use some rollers inside the pasta machine that when they scratch, they don't start getting rusty. They don't leave strikes. With the other pasta machines, first of all, the cheap ones might break easily. They might get a little, clunky and just get stuck. But also, if the roller gets scratched, then they will start leaving strikes. Again, if you're just at the beginning, that's okay. But if you're planning to, get a little bit more into this hobby, then you might want a better pasta machine. Again, the Atlas can also be opened now, and it's really important for cleaning because when you use a pasta machine, the clay tends to get stuck in the scrapers, and then when you roll the new clay gets dirty because there's clay attached to the machine. So if you can't clean it properly, then this becomes a problem. You might see on the internet another type of pasta machine or clay machine called Lucy Clay. I would say it's a professional machine because it has a price point that it's quite prohibitive for a lot of people. I own one. After many years, I was able to, gift it to myself. I bought it second hand. You can find some second-hand ones on the market. It's an excellent machine. It can be cleaned easily. It's big, so it's wide. It means that I can condition or flatten more clay at once. But again, if you're a beginner, that is not necessary. So to recap, just get yourself some clay, a rolling pin, possibly metallic or acrylic, and some depth guides. I'm going to show them to you now. Here is some Sculpey primer. Here is some Sculpey souffle. The packaging has changed through the years, so you might find the same type of clay in different packages. Just make sure that it says souffle or primer. Avoid Sculpey 3 if you want something durable. If you just want to play, that's totally fine. You might find it for very cheap. This is an example of Cernit. I don't have an example of Femur right now, or powder. And this is a cheap polymer clay you can find. I believe this was from Spotlight. Now, it's not great for a detailed work. It's more plasticky feeling than others, and it's quite soft and sticky, I would say. Again, if you're just at the beginning and you want to just have a go with clay, you don't know if you're going to be into this hobby or not, that's totally fine, but it will make your life a bit harder, so you might not enjoy claying as much as you would if you used a different type of clay. This is an example of that, guys. These are 4.5 millimeters, but they come in different thicknesses. You can also get a frame if you prefer. So basically, you put your clay here, you roll it. If you get the sticks, you do the exact same. You put your clay here and you roll it. This is my metallic rolling pin. Last thing that I would like to mention today is colors. Now, most brands come in a ton of different colors, and new colors are released every year. Different shades, it's quite amazing. However, it can get a little expensive if you have to buy a package of each color. What I do recommend is to buy just the primary color, especially because the primary colors come also in bigger packages. So I recommend buying some blue, some red, cat red, sorry, some yellow, white, and black. And that's all you need. If you're familiar with the color theory, it's exactly the same as with paint. You only need the primary colors to mix and obtain any shades that you possibly want. So you don't have to buy every single color of clay, you can make it. If you don't know the color theory, if you're not familiar, you can always just try. Just starting from the basics, like really like mixing, I don't know, blue and red gives you purple and so on. But there are also a ton of clay color recipes out there for free and paid, and that really help you making precise shades. So that's all for today. In the next video, I'm going to talk about surfaces.